Welcome to Enginuity. In this episode, Honda pushes ahead with hydrogen, Renault tests their vehicles at the Nordschleife, the importance of the pit stop in Formula One, and what drives the British Honda racing team. But first,
Volkswagen unveiled its newest Beetle in New York City, part of a same-day worldwide promotion. It's the second major redesign since the car was launched in 1938. The Beetle is a beloved icon, traditionally associated in the U.S. with flower power and hippies. The trick for designers? Creating a truly new Beetle while driving a fine line between keeping the nostalgia and adding a modern touch, says CEO of Volkswagen North America, Jonathan Browning.
We think here with a vehicle that is instantly recognizable as Beetle, but also brings it very much into today's world, is a modern incarnation of that iconic vehicle, that we've got a winner for the Volkswagen brand.
Volkswagen is also focused on expanding beyond a mostly female customer base, pushing a sportiness theme. The latest Beetle is wider and longer, gone is the bulbous roof and well-known bud base. In are bigger tires and an optional Fender sound system. Mike McGrath, associate editor at Edmunds Inside Line, says the also very fuel-efficient Beetle hits the mark.
They've come a long way from that forced retro Beetle to this new one that they've thought out from A to B, and hopefully will be a real alternative to some other small cars.
In a crowded auto market, analysts expect the revamped Beetle's ultimate success will largely depend on pricing. That won't be revealed until the car rolls onto showroom floors sometime in the fall.
General Motors will introduce the industry's first front center airbag, an inflatable restraint designed to help protect drivers and front passengers in far side impact crashes where the affected occupant is on the opposite non-struck side of the vehicle. The front center airbag will be introduced in several new 2013 models. The front center airbag deploys from the right side of the driver's seat and positions itself between the front row seats near the center of the vehicle. This tethered tubular airbag is designed to provide restraint during passenger side crashes when the driver is the only front occupant, and also acts as an energy-absorbing cushion between driver and front passenger in both driver and passenger side crashes. It's named Neo. Part motorcycle, part toilet. Neo runs on eco-friendly biogas. Toto, the toilet company that created Neo, says the biogas that powers the bike was produced from sewage, but is quick to point out that the rider does not contribute to its supply. According to spokesman Kenji Fujita, it's a combination of livestock waste and household sewage broken down and fermented to create fuel.
The motorcycle carries two tanks which allow it to run for a total of 300 kilometres at a speed of up to 70 kilometres an hour. It's a surprisingly nice way to travel.
The toilet bike toured more than 1,400 kilometres across Japan in an effort to promote the use of biogas. With a toilet for a seat and a giant roll of toilet paper mounted on the rear, Ichie Tanaka, one of 6 volunteers who rode the bike, says Neo definitely attracted attention.
At first, when I saw the bike, I was taken aback. But after riding the motorcycle, I found it quite interesting. It doesn't hurt at all, and it's actually quite comfortable to sit on.
Toto says while Neo may not run on human waste, it hopes future models will. The company says recycling human waste is a practical solution to the environmental problems caused by the use of fossil fuels. Ichie Tanaka says she is happy and relieved the journey is over. She says that while the bike was a pleasure to ride, after 3 long weeks she is just plain pooped. Coming up, hydrogen fueling the future.
At the dawn of motoring, the number of cars on the roads was limited by the supply of fuel. As cars gained popularity, so did petrol stations. Today, it would be hard to imagine a road system without them. So what happens when the oil runs out? Well, we could soon be filling our cars with hydrogen at a station like this one. Located just off the M4 is the first hydrogen refuelling station open to the public. It's the result of a partnership between Honda, BOC and Forward Swindon, providing a glimpse into the future of how we could all be powering our cars. And this is the Honda FCX Clarity, and it's powered by hydrogen. It's already being driven by customers in the USA and Japan, and now it's being tested on European roads. The benefit of hydrogen power is that it produces no CO2 or other harmful emissions. In fact, the only thing coming out of the back of the car is water vapour. Refuelling is similar to a conventional car, but because the hydrogen is stored under pressure, the nozzle needs to be locked into place before the 171-litre tank is filled.
Well, joining me now is Nick Rolfe from BOC. Nick, everybody knows that fossil fuels are running out. Is hydrogen the answer?
Well, hydrogen's the most abundant element in the universe, and it's available from a number of different sources. So unlike current fossil fuels like crude oil and natural gas, it will never actually run out.
We've heard a lot about electric cars, so how does hydrogen compare to electric?
Well, hydrogen offers a perfect blend between long-range, low-carbon mobility and climate protection. When hydrogen is used as a transport fuel, the only emission from the tailpipe is water vapour. And if you couple that with the use of renewable energy, then hydrogen offers the only transport fuel solution to be truly carbon-free.
So how important is this refuelling station here in Swindon?
Well, this refuelling station is very important. It's the UK's first combined 350 and 700 bar station, which means it can be used for a number of different vehicle platforms, from passenger cars through to light goods vehicles and buses. We're hoping that this station can be used as a kick-start hydrogen-based mobility for the future for the UK.
The sense of futuristic travel isn't just down to how the car is powered. On the dashboard, a 3D ball shows you how efficiently you're driving, glowing blue at maximum efficiency and turning yellow, then orange when using more hydrogen. It even boasts upholstery and carpets made from a revolutionary fabric derived from cornstarch. The FCX Clarity performs well, doing a top speed of 100 miles per hour and doing 0 to 60 in just over 9 seconds. But the real benefit of this hydrogen car is that you'll get 270 miles out of a tank. To find out more about the car, I'm off to meet Thomas Brackman. He's from Honda's Research and Development Department. So Thomas, tell me more about the technology behind this car.
The Honda FCX Clarity is an electric vehicle, and this vehicle is powered by hydrogen, and the hydrogen is fed to a fuel cell stack located between the front seats, in which hydrogen and oxygen of air are converted to electricity, and this electricity then runs the electric motor, and this is propelling the car.
So why use hydrogen?
Hydrogen is very abundant. It's an element we have everywhere and plentiful, and we can utilize it, especially we can produce it renewable. And that makes it so attractive because then we have a zero-emission vehicle which runs electrically with a higher efficiency.
How efficient is it?
It's actually 2 times more efficient than a diesel engine powered car and 3 times more efficient than a petrol-powered car.
So how does it compare to what is already out on the roads?
The vehicle itself is a vehicle without any compromise to what you are used to today. It has performance, it's highly dynamic, it has a large range which it can cover because of its hydrogen tank, which is large. So that's not so much different, although it has a powertrain which is electric.
We all know that one day the oil will run out. Therefore, harnessing a source of energy that's the most plentiful gas in the universe and extremely efficient is surely the best solution.
Next, negotiating the Nordschleife. The Nordschleife, or Northern Loop, part of the famous Nürburgring, built in the 1920s around the village and castle of Nürburg. Considered one of the toughest purpose-built racetracks in the world. It's a popular place to test vehicles in racing conditions. This includes the new Renault concept and electric car, the Desir. And who better to test an all-new electric vehicle than a Formula One driver, Sebastian Vettel. Then he got really revved up with the new Renault Twizy.
Oh, it's funny, it's fun. So, yeah, it's like a scooter, but, you know, something between a scooter and a car. So it's good fun, electric. You don't hear the engine, but it was quite powerful up here, so it's very direct. Seems good fun.
Vettel was soon joined by Red Bull Racing, Lotus Renault GP and Team Lotus drivers Mark Webber, Nick Heidfeld, Vitali Petrov, Jarno Trulli and Heikki Kovalainen. Their connection with Renault? They are all powered by the Renault Sport F1 RS27 engine in the FIA Formula One World Championship. They were being put through their paces with the Megane and Clio RS on one of the world's toughest tracks.
Tranquille.
Then it was Red Bull teammate Mark Webber's turn.
It was good fun. I mean, the thing is, you know, it's one of the most trickiest and complex circuits in the world, and a very long one. And it's not so easy when you don't really know where you're going. You know, the track knowledge I have is not really the best. So after a couple of laps, you know, you start to feel the rhythm, but it's so difficult. It's such a long lap, and yeah, but it's good fun. You know, the car behaved brilliantly, and you know, I think it's the right type of car for this kind of track. So it was good fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a very nice day. We never get the chance to run on the long track here at the Nürburgring. It gives us the chance to understand what the drivers did in the old days in the old Formula One cars. Hats off to them.
That must have been quite special. It's obviously a very tricky circuit, and with those cars, you know, it's just huge risks that those guys were taking. But I think with a little bit of modifications, you know, I'd be happy to race here as well. Maybe take some bumps away, and why not? It's an exciting circuit, but it never will happen nowadays. It's too dangerous. But big respect to those boys for sure.
Well, it's great fun. It's my first time here, so I would like to, you know, to spend much more time here. Because it's really interesting track, it's really interesting corner, and you know, I'm really enjoyed it.
It's always good fun. I don't know it well enough. I never raced here. I've done a few laps, but actually it's the first time with some drops of rain coming down, and it's very difficult to know how much grip to expect.
Next, the pit stop. In 3 seconds, a Formula One car accelerates from 0 to 150 kilometers per hour. In 3 seconds, a human being blinks once, has 3 heartbeats, takes 1 breath. In just 3 seconds, Mercedes GP completes a pit stop. In the battle against time, the team strives to save hundredths, even thousandths of a second. And 2011 was the year of the pit stop.
Pit stops are very important because of the degradation on the tires. The strategy can really make a difference this year, and you can win or lose races in the pits.
The reason is the tires. Last year, the teams all asked Pirelli to make tires with a shorter life to create more stops, more excitement, and even more activity in the pits. And when a driver has to come in, the key word then is precision.
The pit stop is obviously one of the most important key factor in the race in order to make the strategy work, to improve your positions. And the good thing is that I can rely on my boys. I mean, my boys are just great. I mean, they're the best team that is down the paddock, the quickest guys, reliable, focused, and well, that's obviously great to know.
2 men, front and rear, jack the car up a few centimeters. Then teams of 3 each change a wheel. Using a compressed air wrench, they undo the wheel nuts, old tire off, new one on, tighten the nut, and it's time to go. During this time, the driver, however, isn't idle.
You have time to think about all the settings that you need to change for going out again from the pits, because then you'll be probably on new tires, so you'll be able to go a lot faster.
With the all clear, the car leaves the pits. And practice makes perfect, over and over again.
We have many training sessions back at Brackley and also at the racetrack for events, but during the winter from January 5th onwards we'll do 2 sessions a day when we're able to. Obviously we've got to build cars at the same time, but we'll end up doing 40 or 50 pit stops a day for 5 or 6 weeks.
Additionally, the Silver Arrows are fitted with a special wheel nut system, which has been designed to enable the execution of even faster, safer pit stops.
This system is actually, we changed the wheel nut as well as the wheel, and the wheel nut is actually integrated in the wheel itself. It's a similar system to what the DTMs use, yeah, whereas you actually change both the wheel nut and the wheel together, and you cannot lose a wheel nut.
3 seconds, the length of a perfect pit stop. 3 seconds of precise teamwork at the limit. 3 seconds that decide whether you win or lose.
I've been in saloon car racing for the last 20-odd years.
What drives the Honda racing team to achieve success in one of Britain's biggest and most exciting race series?
You know, it's boys and the toys, but it's you know, the feeling that you get out there racing is just, you know, unexplainable.
All I ever wanted to do since I was a young boy was race. I never actually thought I'd be here doing it. So when I was 17, I got my first car, which was a 950 Fiesta, and I could put a tow hitch on it, put a trailer on it, and I went off racing bikes.
I've been doing it since I was about 18, I guess. It's one of those jobs when you're in it, you sort of want to be out of it, and then when you're out for a normal life, you want to be back in it again.
Yeah, I mean, the guys have just spent, you know, the last month working their socks off to try and give, you know, Matt and I a package that's capable of winning. Me and Matt get the glory of going out and driving, but it is a real team effort, you know.
A lot of hard work, many hours. It is true dedication. Getting it to the circuit and running it at a pace is one thing. Making it competitive and win is another ball game altogether. Yeah, the rivalry in British touring car racing is obviously quite strong.
My biggest rival on track is definitely Jason. We've had a fair few fallings out, and people ask me, are they for TV or are they for real? And I said, they are definitely for real.
This is very competitive. We've got 3 races in a day, and the whole day is action-packed and full of thrills. They're always going to be out there to race each other, and as far as we're concerned, one's going to come off better, one's going to come off worse if they're getting a bit of a tangle, but, you know, we accept that as part of what we do. There's a saying in touring cars saying rubbing's racing, so it might get slightly physical.
Favourite piece of a car? The front. This is the checkered flag first.
Winning is just pure satisfaction. You know, we all come here, we all want to win. You know, and when we do win, every time it's just as emotional when you win as it was the first time.
Teams. And then it's down to me and Flash to try and have a fight for the driver's title with each other and with, you know, at the moment, we are the one everyone's targeting to beat. And that's okay, I can take that. Just bring it on.
Well, that's it for another episode of Enginuity. Bye for now.